Thanks, Jules. Salam alaikum, everybody. Welcome to the afternoon session at the Women's Forum on the Investor Stage. Jules, I'd just like to give a bit of a round of applause for Jules for all the work that she's been doing over the last few days. Thank you so much for keeping us entertained on the Investor Stage. Please give her a big round of applause. Thank you. So today we are kind of celebrating, I guess, International Women's Day. So to kick it off, I thought I would start the afternoon with a few highlights in terms of what's going on in the world of investment when it comes to women. So in the KSA area, that must be Steve going. Bye, Steve. In the KSA market, there's over 2,000 startups currently in the kingdom. Now, about 30% of those have received investment. So that's a sizable number. Of those, about 2% of those startups have a women founder. So that's not so great for women. But the encouraging factor is that almost 70% of those women-founded businesses have actually raised money. So I think if we can crack the code and figure out how to get more women to launch businesses, we'll see a lot more women receiving funding, and the flywheel will continue. Now, what's interesting about that is when we looked at the actual rest of the bucket, which is male-founded businesses, only about 25% of male-founded businesses in KSA have actually received funding. So having a women founder, guys, in your founding team will double the chances of you actually raising investment. So have a little think about that. So we wanted to celebrate then just some key highlights. And what was weird was that everything came out at a third. A third of women own the businesses in KSA. A third of women in tech in KSA are women. A third of women across the entire labour market is women. But I think we're going to continue to see that number moving up. We have a number of incredible initiatives happening. The Saudi Development Bank have a number of initiatives, as does the Ministry of Commerce, whether that's helping them providing advisory, mentorship, guidance, and also personalised financial services. So we've got lots and lots to celebrate and lots of things to look forward to. We wanted to just highlight some of the incredible women that are actually operating in the kingdom. But to do that, I'm actually going to step down here and introduce another incredible Saudi lady. Maya, you'd like to join us?
Yes.
Yeah, no, as you wish. Yeah, come and join us. Round of applause for Maya, everybody.
Hello, everyone. My name is Maya Abdulwahab. Thank you, Patricia, first of all. So we wanted to highlight some of the incredible Saudi women founders. First, we have Latifa Al-Wa'lan. She leads Endeavor within Saudi, which is a tech-focused. It's more tech-focused within its sector, as well as she's a founder, and she's won many awards. And Harvard Business School actually published a study on her own business.
And she's actually speaking here today, right? She speaking
spoke yesterday.
Yesterday.
And we have Shahad also speaking today within a few minutes. We have Asrar and Shahad, who are both Forbes 30 under 30 and are incredible tech founders.
Yeah, amazing. Maya, thank you so much for introducing them. Maya helped me out putting together these slides, and these are three of her role models, so it felt only right that she would introduce them. Thank you very much. Okay. So we know we've got incredible women, we've got incredible potential, and now we're going to look into the opportunities of what we're going to learn for the rest of the afternoon. Now, what a lineup we have for you today. Now, what we want from this session for the next 2 hours is for you to go away better informed on neuroscience, metaverse, biotechnology, gaming, so that you can make more informed decisions about your investments. Now, first up, we have a fireside chat. It's talking about the CitiVerse being the next $1 trillion opportunity. And we're going to be given a unique perspective on this rapid evolving technology ecosystem. And we've got an incredible thought leader. I cannot wait to talk to her. Please give a warm welcome to Dr. Christina Yan Zhang onto the stage. Thank you. Thank you, Christina. We've been having a wonderful chat over the last few days, getting to know each other. I mean, your CV is stellar. You know, you've been in the metaverse well before Mark Zuckerberg appropriated the word. since 2006. You have a PhD, you're in committees, but I think, before we get into why you're here and what you're going to tell us about the CitiVerse, give us a bit of an introduction to yourself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Christina Yan Zhang, CEO of the Metaverse Institute. As you can see, I was made in China, China red, gold, right? Reinvented in the UK. So we don't offer buy one, get one free policy because I was the only child in the family. But I was very lucky to come to the UK in 2006. But they tell me in order to become 100% British, you need to be able to appreciate the beauty of fish and chips, which I'm still struggling a little bit. And I did lots of interesting things in my life, and I think perhaps the most crazy things is to decided to study my PhD in the Metaverse in 2006. Because at that time, very few people understand what I was doing. So lots of people were saying, Christina, how on earth did you get a full scholarship playing computer games every day? That sounds like the dream job. But I have to tell them, guess what? It's not really a computer games. It's the next generation of the internet, which is more immersive, interactive, and intuitive. But they still don't get it. They even give me a nickname and said, Christina, you got a permanent head damage, PhD, in the Metaverse. So you see, for any kind of frontier technologies, it takes time for people to really understand its use case, how it can bring value to your organization. So that happens.
It must be incredible for you to sit here now, sort of 12, 14 years later, seeing that actual realization and the industrialization of what you were doing those years ago. So listen, I just want to check, are there any Metaverse people in the audience? Just want to sense where we are. Any people? No? All beginners? Great. So we know where we're going to pitch this. This is amazing. So the first thing is, I think, is what is your definition of the Metaverse? There's so much different standards out there. What is your view on it?
Well, if you're looking at the very beginning of the whole Metaverse discussion, it really started in 1992 when Neil Stephenson came out with the idea in his book Snow Crash, where it's mainly focusing on virtual reality handset, where you're wearing the handset goggle to immerse yourself in a way which never happens before. But that's already 30 years ago. What happens now is the Metaverse has increasingly become a convergence of a whole new range of technologies coming together. Either it's generative AI, digital twins, Web3, supercomputing like quantum computing, 5G, 6G, semiconductor chips, etc. They are all converging to create the convergence between our physical world and our digital world. Everyone's crazy about Vision Pro by Apple recently. And when you wear it, you can see how the digital layer is seamlessly integrated into the physical world 24/7, cross industries. That's a major improvement. And I would say, if anyone wants you to summarize what is Metaverse in one sentence, you can just tell them it's the next generation 3D immersive internet.
Amazing. Couldn't have been said any more concisely. Now, this technology sounds exciting and terrifying, but why do we want to use it to kind of re-augment the smart city and where we're going to go with smart city development?
We have lots of amazing colleagues, who have been working in smart city environment for decades. For example, my friend over there, Mike and Mitchell, they're from Australia, and they have been doing lots of wonderful work for their governments and in Australia and around the world. And they probably will tell you one of the biggest challenge for smart city development is the complexity. A lot of smart city we see, they are not really that smart. They're probably not that dull. They can be a little bit smarter, but they are not 100% truly smart according to the definition, because there is a very much approach which is based on sector specific of the city. So you will have smart mobility, right? Talking about public transport, we all want to ensure maybe next year when we come to LEAP, we will have underground or train, so there is no need for us to maybe take a little bit longer to appreciate the beauty of the desert, the camels running around, although we also enjoy that very much. And you have like smart buildings, like how we can simulate the whole environment to reduce carbon footprints. And we're talking about a lot of things on smart city, especially in the kingdom. We see the amazing progress by mega project like NEOM, Red Sea, where they put in 500 billion US dollars to create a whole range of major infrastructure projects, which never happens before in human history. But the most challenging thing is how can we ensure the city we're building will be popular among our residents, right? How can we ensure they will be willing to live in the most fancy city we are creating now is always a challenge. But the beauty about Metaverse is it really allows the end user, the ordinary citizens coming together in terms of hundreds of thousands or millions. They have the ability to see the city before it's even constructed and be the equal co-creator, co-designer, co-player to be part of this exciting future to enrich our kingdom at large. That's the most powerful thing of CitiVerse.
Yeah, I think it's incredible. You've just nailed it when you talked about the mega projects. Obviously, Autonomous are one of the main sponsors for the event, and you see the NEOM exhibition and everything that's happening in Hall 1. They have actually a line exhibition up in Doria, and it is incredible. It's mind-blowing just to go into that, to see what the future might be for all of us. But then, so, I think you kind of started touching about it there. This is the biggest project ever in human history, and is that how it becomes the $1 trillion opportunity? Is that, or where does the CitiVerse play in that scenario?
So the CitiVerse as a concept was coined by the European Commission in April last year. And what they are championing is they realize a lot of smart city projects, they do not become successful, not because they are not using the most advanced technology of that time. If you're looking back history, the technology trend is developing too fast to the point it's very difficult for you to keep track. Maybe 3-4 years ago, we're talking about using blockchain to provide transparency, accountability across cities, either selling tickets at events, etc. And then 3 years ago, we were talking about Metaverse. This year, we're talking about generative AI. And maybe next year, we're talking about quantum computing. Who knows what's going to happen? But what decides a city is really attractive to its residents is not about the most trendy technology. They will ask you, do I have easy access to healthcare if I'm ill? If my children will have the best possible international education, they will ask how convenient it is for me to move around. Is that within 10 minutes walking distance to public transport, facilities, etc.? They are very pragmatic. That's why we go back to the fundamentals and say, if we can develop future city that is citizen-centric, using different technology. So here, people's needs is the most important thing. Technology, they're only complementing.
I mean, you've just touched on some of the kind of key services that people look for, and I think one of the other things I was thinking about as you talked was community. And these are not easy things. You can't manufacture these things. They have to kind of be naturally formed by the people, either real or virtual within them. But within those sectors and those services that need to come together, what are some of the challenges, do you think, that we need to overcome to realize it?
I think there are many different areas of challenges. For example, when it comes to technology, we all know if you want to have true sense of citizen-driven, like future smart city, you need to have a very solid approach, which is not only top-down from the government, you need at the same time, which is bottom-up, and they need to meet each other in between. That's how you make a city successful. That's on the approach. On the technology side, we all know in order to run simulation as big as NEO or Red Sea, you need massive computing power. And at this moment, I think even the most powerful high-performance computing can't really do that. So where do we get that computing power? The solution is already out there. As I mentioned before, quantum computing. You might remember in 2019, Google have made announcements and saying that they have achieved quantum supremacy, where the quantum computing they develop can run 158 million times faster than any existing supercomputer. Putting that in perspective, for something really complicated that used to need 10,000 years to run, now is only 4 minutes. Imagine that kind of computing power being utilized in the urban environment at scale is going to address the issue of the computing. That's only one aspect. Another issue all of us are really interested is about user interface. Of course, we all love VR. It's really exciting to give you this kind of immersion. But I don't know about you. If I wear VR goggles for more than half hour, I start to get dizzy, I got headache, it's not very comfortable, and I don't want to continue. That's why I think like when Vision Pro from Apple came into be, everyone got excited because you can see the real world as well as the physical world at the same time. It's a combined experience. But guess what? Another really interesting development in the space of user interface is actually called brain-computer interface. And you might remember in January this year, Elon Musk successfully put a computer chips in the brain of a gentleman who has been paralyzed for many, many years. So at this moment, a lot of brain-computer interface is mainly used for medical purpose to allow people who are paralyzed to gain mobility again, for people who are blind to gain sight, and for people who are suffering from Alzheimer's, they can't remember their family, to gain their memory, which are very important. But the interesting thing is, Elon Musk is not even the only company who are doing BCI at this moment. We probably heard another gentleman who was also speaking here today about his company Syndrome, where he's put the sensor through the blood vessel, connected through your spine all the way to your nerves to connect you with this kind of powerful information share. And in China, nowadays, they can use non-surgical brain-computer interface. It's like sensor, like my earring. You put it inside your inner ear, it will allow you to have 24/7 transformation from your thoughts into any kind of digital computer interface. Imagine having that. Next time, we don't need any translator. We can put the sensor inside your ear. You can understand any language, whether it's Arabic, English, Spanish. That's the beauty. That's the kind of things coming in, which was never happened before.
Just incredible, isn't it? What potentially the technology can do. So I think you've kind of given us a really good idea of where we are now, but where are we going to be in 2030? I'm just mindful we've got 2 minutes left, so just to wrap up, like what is the future? Where are we going to be 6 years from now? What's it going to look like?
I'm a very positive person because I always prepare for the worst scenario. I think for all of us, climate change is absolutely #1 priority from now. I don't know about you. Everywhere I go, I feel it's getting hotter and hotter everywhere. I'm a very foodie person, and I really like steamed dumplings. But when you become the steamed dumplings yourself in the bamboo case, that's terrible. And that's why I think it's really important we use digital twins, AIs, and many other technologies to participate in reducing our individual carbon footprint on a daily basis, whether to eat less, or exercise more, or maybe use the electricity off-peak time, etc. There are a lot of things we can do to really contribute to the wider environment protection, which is in the benefit of every one of us. And I think CitiVerse is really creating that opportunity to allow every single citizen in this kingdom, in Middle East, and in the world to come in together, working with government, big business, to fight climate change and ensure we have a sustainable future to benefit every single one of the 8 billion population in the world. And I would suggest that we do it now, and we can make it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Christina. I really enjoyed talking to you, and I hope that's given everybody a bit of an oversight in terms of what is ahead for us. Thank you, Christina.
Thank you.